Menaka, we're looking at Go Airlines, and it was, I believe, as early as last year, planning an initial public offering. Now it's filing for insolvency protection, and this is down to them not having enough engines for their aircraft. Now, it's been putting the blame onto Pratt Whitney. Give us a sense of what's actually going on here.
Well, Rishi, you've recounted the sequence of events fairly accurately. As of yesterday, we were informed by Go First Air, that's what it's called now, that it has voluntarily filed for insolvency resolution here in an Indian court. Essentially, it comes down to the problem of grounded aircraft and expense on that account, and not being able to make revenue whilst those aircraft are grounded. And those aircraft are grounded because of a lack of engines. So about 25 aircraft are grounded. That's just short of 50% of Go First Air's full fleet. So you can imagine how important or significant that is. And the reason being that Pratt Whitney were supposed to supply spare engines. That's what the airline says. A claim that Pratt Whitney denies, saying it has not failed its commitment to Go First Air. That dispute aside, effectively what we have right now is possibly 2 days of flight shutdowns by Go First. That's what it had announced yesterday, and it's not clear exactly when it will resume flying.
It's the Wadia family, I think, which are really behind this group. What are they specifically accusing Pratt and Whitney for its engines about? What's their gripe?
That's right. The Wadia family is an old industrial family in India at one time, rivals of the Ambani family, if I can put it that way, just to give you some context and color. But what they're accusing Pratt Whitney is of not fulfilling an emergency arbitrators award that ordered or directed Pratt Whitney to supply spare engines to the airline so that the airline could keep running. Now, Pratt Whitney has denied that to Bloomberg, and so that looks like it will be a separate legal dispute between the two. But we do know that engines have been a critical issue, supply chain issue for airlines across the world, and that this is not the only airline in India or elsewhere in the world that is facing problems with regards to engines, spare parts, and grounded aircraft. So it's a chronic problem. And I can also point out to you, Rishad, that this comes at a time when India has just, sort of had record air travel numbers over the past few days. These are post-COVID numbers. We go into the summer busy season. We already have another airline that's financially beleaguered, that's SpiceJet. We've had a history of bankruptcies in India, whether it's Kingfisher or Jet Airways. And then this year itself, we've also had the big consolidation around Air India, which is now owned by the Tata Group. So it's going to be an interesting period of time for the Indian aviation sector to see how the two big players, that's Air India and Indigo, manage this potential shortfall of supply in the aviation market at a time when travel is fast picking up.